The CSF is contained between the brain and spinal cord and the dura. The dura is a thick sac that surrounds the brain and spinal cord, and inside of that is where the cerebral spinal fluid is. And cerebral spinal fluid basically has four primary jobs. One is the obvious one of protection. So if you hit your head or whatever else, the brain sloshes around in this fluid and doesn't slam against the inside of the skull. Another thing it does, though, is also a thermoregulator. So, say baby's running a fever. One of the things that keep the brain from being damaged is the cerebral spinal fluid's flow. Just like with antifreeze in your car, that normal continuous flow of fluid through the engine keeps the engine cool. Same thing with us. It also is a primary source of nutrition for the brain, and on top of that, it also cleans the brain. So it's the primary way that the cells of the brain, in their normal respiration, dump stuff into the CSF, and then it gets washed away. And this is so important that this stuff stays moving and clean, that we reabsorb and make new constantly. Where at about the 4 to 6 hour point, we've completely cycled through old to new in the system. Being crystal clear is vital to the development and the function of primarily the brain and the spinal cord. When you start interfering with the flow of that, we start looking at the difference between a clean mountain stream and swamp water. And the more that environment is negatively affected, the more it negatively affects the function of that brain and spinal cord.
And then that can negatively affect the physical development.
You got it. Because if the brain isn't working right, then the body can't work right. Nothing happens without the brain telling the body what it's supposed to do. And in turn, the brain receiving messages from the body. So it's a two-way street. And if you start messing with that communication back and forth, you start messing with not only development, we start messing with milestones. That's where we end up with babies who aren't pooping, babies who aren't latching, babies who aren't developing, who are missing their milestones, who are having primitive reflexes that are retained. All of these things at that early age, when you're setting that stage, you end up with a compromised older child and a compromised adult along the way as well.